In a world where every word you speak has the potential to shape your reality, the importance of what you say and what you choose not to say becomes paramount. Have you ever stopped to consider how your words impact the way others see you, or how they influence your own sense of confidence, growth, and success? What if I told you that eliminating just a few harmful phrases from your vocabulary could dramatically transform your relationships, career, and personal development? This video will dive into 11 things that intelligent people never say, each backed by the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. These aren't just random tips, but powerful lessons that have stood the test of time, helping people sharpen their minds, elevate their communication skills, and live more intentional lives. By the end of this video, you'll not only learn what to avoid saying, but also how to replace limiting language with words that foster growth, build stronger connections, and lead to greater success. Stay with me until the end, and I guarantee you'll walk away with a deeper understanding of the subtle ways words shape your life. You'll gain insights rooted in Stoic philosophy that will empower you to navigate the world with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. Now, let's dive into the first thing an intelligent person never says. 1. I already know that. What happens when we say, "I already know that"? At first glance, it might seem like a harmless statement, perhaps even one that reflects confidence. But let's dig deeper. When you declare that you already know something, you shut the door to learning. This phrase doesn't just reflect knowledge, it reflects a mindset, one that can limit growth. Stoicism teaches us to always approach life with humility, acknowledging that there's always more to learn. Consider this. How many times have you entered a conversation, assuming you had nothing new to gain, only to be surprised by a fresh perspective or a deeper insight? When you say, "I already know that," you are closing off that opportunity. True wisdom, as the Stoics remind us, comes from a state of openness, from acknowledging that no matter how much we know, there is always something more to uncover. Socrates, a figure central to Stoicism, famously said, "I know that I know nothing." This mindset isn't about diminishing your knowledge. It's about realizing that knowledge is infinite and layered. When you shut yourself off by assuming you already know something, you're not just blocking out information, you're stunting your growth. Moreover, there's a relational component to this as well. Imagine being in a conversation with someone and they tell you, "I already know that." How does that make you feel? Probably dismissed, unheard, or even disrespected. By uttering this phrase, you may unknowingly damage the connection, making others feel their input is not valued. Stoicism encourages humility in relationships. It's not just about gaining new knowledge, but also about showing respect to others by listening actively and allowing them to share their thoughts. You might even find that the very thing you thought you knew has nuances you hadn't considered. By adopting an attitude of humility, you're fostering deeper connections and inviting more meaningful dialogue. Now ask yourself, how often do you catch yourself thinking or saying, "I already know that"? What if you replaced it with curiosity? Next time you're tempted to close a conversation with this phrase, try asking yourself, "What can I learn here that I hadn't noticed before? How might this knowledge deepen my understanding?" By keeping your mind open and curious, you position yourself for continuous growth, and you also strengthen your relationships by showing others that you value their input. 2. That's impossible. What does it really mean when someone says, "That's impossible"? Does it reflect reality, or is it a reflection of our own limitations? Stoicism teaches us that our perceptions shape our reality, and often what we deem impossible is simply a barrier we've erected in our minds. When intelligent people hear the word impossible, they don't accept it as fact. They see it as a challenge, an opportunity to stretch beyond their current abilities. Let's consider what Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said. "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, The very obstacle we perceive as insurmountable is the path forward. What would happen if, instead of giving up when faced with difficulty, you leaned into the challenge? How often have you discovered new strengths or solutions by pushing through something that once seemed impossible? By saying, "That's impossible," we give up before we've even tried. It creates a mental roadblock that shuts down creative thinking and problem solving. The moment we decide that something cannot be done, we stop looking for alternatives, for new approaches, for opportunities to grow. Yet, history is filled with examples of people who achieved what others deemed impossible. Think of the Wright brothers, who defied the common belief that humans could not fly, or of modern innovators who continue to push the boundaries of science and technology. An intelligent person understands that impossible is a matter of perspective. It's not a final judgment, but a reflection of our current understanding, which is always limited. The Stoics encourage us to remove our emotional reactions, fear, frustration, or anxiety, and look at the problem with clarity. Is the challenge truly impossible, or is it simply difficult? Often, the answer lies in our willingness to persist, adapt, and remain open to learning. When you find yourself thinking, "That's impossible," pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I saying this because I've genuinely explored every option? Or am I letting fear and doubt cloud my judgment? What would happen if I tried just one more time, from a different angle? Stoicism emphasizes the importance of resilience. It's about recognizing that setbacks and obstacles are inevitable, but they don't define us. What defines us is how we respond to them. By removing impossible from your vocabulary, you allow yourself to stay open to solutions that may not be immediately apparent. You also cultivate the resilience needed to overcome life's challenges. 3. I give up. Giving up is perhaps one of the most limiting phrases we can utter. When someone says, "I give up," they're essentially saying, "I'm not willing to try anymore." But why do we give up? Is it because the challenge is truly beyond our abilities? Or is it because we lack the patience and perseverance to push through discomfort? Stoicism teaches us that perseverance is a virtue, one that strengthens the mind just as labor strengthens the body. Seneca, another influential Stoic, wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." To the Stoic, giving up is not an option because every challenge presents an opportunity to build resilience, to test our character, and to grow stronger. What if, instead of viewing obstacles as reasons to quit, we saw them as invitations to rise above our current limitations? It's important to ask yourself, why am I giving up? Am I afraid of failure? Am I avoiding discomfort? Stoicism reminds us that fear and discomfort are part of the human experience, but they are not reasons to stop trying. In fact, they are signals that we are on the edge of growth. Intelligent people understand that every time they push through a difficult situation, they expand their capabilities, making future challenges easier to handle. Moreover, giving up often becomes a habit. Once we start quitting in small areas of our lives, it becomes easier to give up on bigger goals. It's a slippery slope that leads to stagnation and missed opportunities. Intelligent people know that persistence, even in the face of uncertainty, is the key to achieving meaningful success. Think about a time when you were on the verge of giving up, but decided to push through. How did that decision shape the outcome? Often, it's the moments when we refuse to quit that lead to our greatest breakthroughs. The road to success is rarely smooth, but those who persevere, those who refuse to say, "I give up," are the ones who achieve their goals. This brings us to an important point. If you're finding value in these insights, stick with me for the rest of the video. Every phrase we explore will give you tools to improve your mindset, relationships, and personal growth. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of how Stoicism can help you master the art of communication and resilience. 4. It's not my fault. How often do you hear someone say, "It's not my fault"? When things go wrong, it's human nature to look for someone or something else to blame. But intelligent people, guided by the principles of Stoicism, know that blaming others is disempowering. By shifting responsibility, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to grow, to learn from our mistakes, and to improve. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control external events, but we can always control how we respond to them. When you say, "It's not my fault," you're giving away your power. You're essentially saying that you had no control over the situation, and therefore, there's nothing to be learned from it. But is that really true? An intelligent person takes responsibility, even for things beyond their control. They ask themselves, what could I have done differently? How can I improve next time? By focusing on their role in the outcome, they maintain control over their personal growth. This shift in mindset, from blame to responsibility, opens the door to learning and self-improvement. Taking responsibility doesn't mean taking on unnecessary guilt or blaming yourself for things beyond your control. Rather, it means owning your actions and decisions and recognizing that there is always something you can do to improve. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Blaming others also damages relationships. It pushes people away and creates an atmosphere of division and defensiveness. Intelligent people avoid this by fostering collaboration and shared responsibility. They know that when everyone takes ownership of their part, teams work more effectively and relationships become stronger. Ask yourself, how often do I deflect responsibility by saying, "It's not my fault"? How would my life change if I shifted from blaming others to focusing on what I can control? By taking responsibility, you empower yourself to grow, learn, and improve, which ultimately leads to greater success and resilience. 5. I can't. The phrase "I can't" is perhaps one of the most limiting things a person can say. It's an admission of defeat, often before even attempting the task at hand. But why do we say it? Is it because we genuinely lack the ability, or is it because we are afraid of failure, discomfort, or the effort required to succeed? Stoicism teaches that our perception shapes our reality. When we say, "I can't," we are setting up a mental barrier that prevents us from even trying. Intelligent people, however, know that the word "can't" is often more about our mindset than about reality. They replace "I can't" with empowering questions like, "How can I make this work? What steps can I take to overcome this challenge?" Imagine a time when you faced a difficult situation and thought, "I can't do this." What happened when you reframed your thinking and pushed through? Did you discover a new strength or skill you didn't know you had? By refusing to say, "I can't," you keep your mind open to possibilities and solutions that might not be immediately obvious. The Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can control. When you say, "I can't," you're focusing on limitations rather than possibilities. But by shifting your mindset to, "What can I do?" you open the door to creative problem solving. You may not have the answer immediately, but by refusing to shut down mentally, you allow yourself to explore alternatives and adapt to the situation. It's important to remember that growth often comes from persistence and effort. Stoicism reminds us that abilities are not fixed. They can be developed through practice and perseverance. What if, instead of saying, "I can't," you said, "I'm not there yet, but I'll keep trying"? How would that shift your perspective on challenges? If you've ever caught yourself saying, "I can't, try this," next time you're faced with a difficult situation, pause and ask yourself, "What's one small step I can take towards solving this?" By shifting your mindset from defeat to possibility, you'll find that you're capable of far more than you initially believed. If you found this idea helpful, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. How do you handle challenges where you're tempted to say, "I can't"? Let's start a conversation about how Stoicism can help us reframe our thinking and overcome obstacles. 6. That's not my job. Saying "that's not my job" reflects a narrow mindset that can limit your personal growth and stifle collaboration. But why do we sometimes refuse to take on tasks that fall outside our defined roles? Is it because we fear stepping into unfamiliar territory? Or are we simply avoiding extra responsibility? In the eyes of an intelligent person, there is no such thing as rigidly sticking to predefined roles. Stoicism teaches us to embrace responsibility, even when it's inconvenient or outside our typical duties. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to do what needs to be done, regardless of whether it fits within our comfort zone. By stepping up when something isn't technically our job, we position ourselves as valuable, proactive individuals, people others can rely on. Think about it. When you adopt the mindset that everything is a shared responsibility, how much more could you achieve? Intelligent people understand that success in any endeavor often comes from going beyond what is merely required. By saying, "That's not my job," you're shutting down opportunities for learning and growth. But by embracing new challenges, even those that aren't in your job description, you expand your skill set and demonstrate leadership. Moreover, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of fulfilling your duty, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Intelligent individuals take this philosophy to heart by taking ownership of tasks, regardless of whether they fall under their official role. They understand that acting with integrity and contributing to the common good benefits not only others, but also themselves. Ask yourself, how many times have I avoided a task by saying, "That's not my job"? What if, instead of shirking responsibility, I saw it as an opportunity to grow, to learn something new, or to build stronger connections with my team? By refusing to say, "That's not my job," intelligent people also foster a collaborative environment. When everyone is willing to contribute beyond their defined roles, teams work more harmoniously and mutual respect deepens. Instead of rigidly sticking to what's expected, intelligent individuals focus on the greater good, asking themselves, "How can I help?" This mentality not only builds stronger teams, but also cultivates personal and professional growth. 7. I don't need help. Refusing to ask for help is one of the greatest obstacles to personal growth. Why is it that some of us are so resistant to seeking assistance? Is it pride, fear of appearing weak, or a misguided belief that independence means doing everything alone? Stoicism teaches us the value of humility and recognizing our limitations. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born to work together," emphasizing that humans are social creatures meant to collaborate and support each other. Intelligent people understand that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom. It's about recognizing that no one can master everything on their own, and that seeking help can lead to greater success, both for themselves and for those around them. Think about the last time you struggled with something but refused help. Did you eventually overcome the challenge, or did you become overwhelmed, frustrated, and exhausted? Intelligent individuals recognize that everyone has different strengths, and by combining efforts, they can achieve more than they could alone. By saying, "I don't need help," you cut yourself off from the resources and support that could accelerate your progress. In Stoicism, there is an emphasis on community and mutual aid. Asking for help deepens relationships and fosters a culture of collaboration. When you're willing to admit that you don't have all the answers, you not only gain new insights, but also strengthen bonds with others. Vulnerability, as difficult as it may seem, can actually build trust and create a more supportive environment. Ask yourself, how often do I avoid asking for help out of fear or pride? What would change if I embraced the idea that collaboration makes me stronger, not weaker? By avoiding the phrase, "I don't need help," intelligent people keep their minds open to learning, growth, and stronger relationships. They know that collaboration is not a sign of inadequacy, but of mutual respect and shared success. 8. That's unfair. Life is full of imbalances, and unpredictable challenges. Saying, "That's unfair," is often a way to express frustration. But does it change anything? Or does it leave us stuck, focusing on things beyond our control? One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the understanding that we cannot control external events, only our responses to them. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Intelligent people embrace this mindset. Instead of complaining about fairness, they focus on how they can adapt and respond productively to the situation at hand. Think about the last time you felt something was unfair. Did dwelling on that sense of injustice make you feel better? Or did it lead to resentment and frustration? When we fixate on fairness, we risk falling into a victim mindset, which only serves to weaken our resolve. Intelligent people avoid this trap by focusing on what they can control, how they respond to life's challenges. The Stoic philosophy encourages us to accept that life is inherently unpredictable and often unfair. By accepting this reality, we free ourselves from the emotional burden of resentment and instead direct our energy toward solutions. When you stop expecting life to be fair, you become more resilient, adaptable, and better equipped to handle difficulties. Ask yourself, how much time do I spend lamenting over things that aren't fair? What could I accomplish if I shifted that energy towards solving the problem instead? Intelligent people avoid saying, "That's unfair," because they understand that success is not about having perfect circumstances. It's about how you navigate the imperfections. By embracing this mindset, they cultivate inner peace, resilience, and a proactive approach to life's inevitable challenges. 9. I'll do it tomorrow. Procrastination is a silent thief. When we say, "I'll do it tomorrow," we're often avoiding discomfort, fear, or effort. But is delaying action truly serving us? Stoicism teaches us the value of seizing the present moment because what we do today shapes our future. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The present moment is all we have." Intelligent people internalize this principle, knowing that delaying tasks only creates more stress and missed opportunities. Why do we procrastinate? Is it because the task feels overwhelming, or because we're waiting for the perfect time to act? Intelligent individuals recognize that there is no perfect time, only now. By pushing things off to tomorrow, we rob ourselves of the momentum that comes from immediate action. Think about a time when you procrastinated on something important. How did it feel as the deadline approached? Did putting it off make the task any easier, or did it add to your stress and anxiety? Intelligent people avoid saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," because they know that action in the present builds discipline, confidence, and progress. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of daily action. The path to success is built on consistent effort, not occasional bursts of activity. By tackling tasks head-on, intelligent people create a habit of productivity and prevent the accumulation of unfinished business, which can weigh heavily on their minds. Ask yourself, what tasks am I putting off today, and why? How would my life improve if I committed to action right now, instead of delaying it for tomorrow? By adopting this proactive mindset, you not only accomplish more, but also reduce the mental burden of procrastination. Intelligent people know that time is their most valuable asset, and they use it wisely. 10. That's impossible. When people say, "That's impossible," they limit themselves before even attempting to overcome the challenge. But why do we declare something impossible? Is it truly beyond our abilities, or are we simply afraid to try? Intelligent individuals understand that impossible is often just a reflection of our current limitations. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control external outcomes, we can always control our efforts. Instead of saying, "That's impossible," intelligent people ask themselves, "How can I make this work? What's the next step I can take?" Think of all the things that were once considered impossible. Human flight, space exploration, technological innovations, all were once deemed unattainable. Yet history has shown that those who refuse to accept limitations are the ones who push boundaries and create breakthroughs. Stoicism reminds us that obstacles are not to be avoided, but embraced. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Intelligent people embody this philosophy, knowing that what seems impossible today may be achievable tomorrow with enough perseverance and creativity. Ask yourself, how often do I say, "That's impossible," without fully exploring my options? What would happen if I reframed the situation and focused on what I can control? By refusing to accept impossible as a final answer, intelligent people maintain a mindset of growth and resilience. They understand that limitations often exist only in the mind, and by pushing through, they open doors to possibilities they hadn't considered before. 11. I already know that. When someone says, "I already know that," they close themselves off from learning and growth. But why do we say this? Is it because we genuinely have nothing more to learn? Or are we afraid to admit that we don't know everything? Stoicism teaches us the value of humility. Socrates, a central figure in Stoic thought, famously said, "I know that I know nothing." This isn't a statement of ignorance, but a recognition that knowledge is infinite, and there is always more to learn. Intelligent people embrace this mindset, understanding that there is always a deeper insight to be gained, even from familiar topics. By saying, "I already know that," you limit yourself. You shut the door to new perspectives, ideas, and ways of thinking. But what if, instead of dismissing information, you approached every conversation with curiosity? What if you asked yourself, "What can I learn from this that I didn't notice before?" Stoicism encourages us to be lifelong learners. Intelligent people understand that mastery comes not from knowing everything, but from a constant willingness to deepen their understanding. By avoiding the phrase, "I already know that," they remain open to growth, new ideas, and continuous self-improvement. Ask yourself, how often do I dismiss information because I think I already know it? What might I gain by listening more carefully, by approaching each topic with fresh eyes? By embracing this mindset, you'll not only expand your knowledge, but also improve your relationships. People appreciate being listened to, and by showing humility, you invite deeper, more meaningful connections. The words we speak have immense power. They shape our thoughts, influence our actions, and define how others perceive us. By avoiding these 11 limiting phrases, intelligent people cultivate a mindset of growth, resilience, and purpose, principles deeply rooted in Stoicism. I encourage you to take these lessons and apply them to your life. How might your relationships, career, and personal development change if you spoke with more intention? If you found value in this video, leave a comment below sharing which phrase you're working to eliminate from your vocabulary. Let's start a conversation about how Stoicism can help us become better, wiser individuals. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who could benefit from these insights. Thank you for watching, and may your journey toward growth and wisdom continue.